Hello and welcome. eInterpreters Incorporated has developed an availability-based interpreter management system known as OneLingua that, unlike its counterparts, excels due to its adaptability to almost every aspect of interpreter procurement and management and much more. This tool has been developed keeping in mind that the industry does not need another scheduling system, but an autonomous interpreter management system. Our system has been used by several courts in the state of Washington for almost 9 years. During all these years, our users have experienced almost 50% savings in clerical time. In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, we considered the need to offer the use of the telephonic, scheduled, and on-demand feature in our existing OneLingua platform. Our tool will help interpreters appear remotely so the legal processes that require interpreters can continue. Additionally, our tool can be used for any hearing, even those not requiring interpreters. I would now like to offer you a brief description of how the system handles different user types. Each user logs into his or her specific platform. On the user menu, the administrator can add different types of users. As you can see in this caption, the OneLingua platform has 6 different types of users. Each user will have the specific tools for his or her job. I will briefly describe the process involving a scheduled in-person request. When a requester adds an event, he or she selects the language and then the certification. Here we can see that test language has several certifications. Since it is in person, the requester provides the interpreter where to go, at what time, and the modality. The requester enters the case number and name. This is one of those areas where the system eliminates double and triple entries. Once the case number and name are entered for the first time, for example during the probable cause sharing, that information will be entered for the following hearings: arraignment, in limine hearings, pretrial hearings, trials, and so forth. Our system has an API that can interface with different case management systems such as Odyssey or OCourt. Once the previous steps are completed, the requester can select a staff interpreter, a preferred interpreter, or a not preferred interpreter. When the requester clicks on the top left checkbox, the request is broadcasted to all the interpreters that are available at that time. In this demo, Diego Bardi accepted the job. Now, I will provide a brief description of a scheduled telephonic request. All the steps in the new request are the same. When it comes to the modality, the requester selects the telephone modality. In this case, we will select Buster Keaton. This interpreter made himself available in his personal profile. Here, we see that Buster Keaton made himself available for telephone interpreting and on-demand telephone interpreting. Once Buster Keaton accepted the job, the system is ready to start the conference call at the scheduled date and time. Many times, hearings require that interpreters provide sight translations. This is a very useful tool for that purpose. So now I will describe the features that we decided to offer to AOC in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Buster Keaton made himself available for on-demand jobs. However, he has to turn this option on. Buster Keaton is now available for on-demand jobs. The requester for on-demand jobs from a cell phone is called on-demand. The clerk sitting next to the judge inside the courtroom can manage scheduled and on-demand conference calls. This is a sequence of an on-demand conference call management. The requester enters language, gender, case information, a callback number, usually a requester location, an extension, for example, courtroom, and taps on the green Get Interpreter Now button. Once the requester sends the request for interpreters, the system searches for all interpreters satisfying the search criteria. The system then places the call to all parties involved instantly and initiates the conference call. Here we see the call in progress. The requester has the option to mute and unmute participants as well as ending the conference. The conference call is ended and the system logs all the information regarding duration, interpreter name, and so forth. Our system has the capability of keeping a recording of the audio that can be provided to the court upon request. As previously mentioned, the system provides a tool for the clerk sitting next to the judge to control all conference calls without the need for manual dialing. This means placing phone calls, muting and unmuting participants, hanging up on participants, and calling back participants. This caption shows the clerk screen. The clerk will have the capability to manage interpreter-scheduled telephone hearings, interpreter on-demand telephone hearings, as well as, and this is very important, conference calls in English for all court needs. No numbers to dial. However, as a backup, English and limited English proficiency participants will have a conference call number to dial and an access code in order to enter into the conference call if, for whatever reason, they cannot be automatically connected. Here we see the screen for a telephonic scheduled hearing that the clerk will be able to manage from his or her computer in the courtroom. Here we see the fields for an on-demand conference call with an interpreter. The clerk can manage the call on the spot. And here we see the screen of the same clerk in the courtroom that he or she can use to manage all hearings in English. No interpreter is selected. This is just a feature that is included in the system. If you have any questions, please contact us at info@onelingua.com or call 425-953-1139. Thank you for your time.